Whatever your travel preferences, this exotic yet homey nation will fulfill them. Only the most ardent cynic could fail to appreciate the abundance of history, art, food, music, culture, sacred sites, lovely villages, and breathtaking scenery. Italy has full of amazing places to visit, from the towering Dolomite Mountains in the north to the beaches in Puglia and the historic temples in Sicily. These include some of the world's finest works of art and architecture as well as breathtaking natural and scenic wonders. You can't go wrong wherever you decide to go. Here are the best traveling places in Italy. Number 10. Pisa and Lucca. While you're in Tuscany, you should definitely stop by these two neighboring towns, one for the extraordinary Campo dei Miracoli complex and the other for its lovable characteristics. The famous Italian landmark known as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is actually the campanile for the nearby cathedral, is the focal point of a UNESCO World Heritage Site that also includes the cathedral, baptistry, and Campo Santo. The magnificent freestanding pulpit by Nicola Pisano, a masterpiece of Romanesque sculpture, is the focal point of the imposing baptistry. A museum showcasing some of the most exquisite gold and silver creations from the Middle Ages and Renaissance completes the ensemble. Nearby Lucca is one of Europe's most enchanting towns to discover and enjoy. It is encircled by broad walls, the top of which is a park with trees. Beautiful Romanesque and Tuscan Gothic churches, tower homes, including one that you may climb to the top, and a Roman arena that has been fossilized into an oval piazza can all be found inside the walls. Number 9. The Cinque Terre. Prior to the railway's connection between the five cities by burrowing under the headland separating them, which is to the north of La Spezia, which cling to the high, rocky Mediterranean coast, it was nearly impossible to reach by land. The shortest and largest portion of the trail, between Manarola and Riomaggiore, is known as the Via dell'Amore and will be blocked until sometime in 2022 owing to a landslide. The trail was originally utilized by inhabitants to travel between towns. Although the majority of visitors come with the intention of hiking the trail, don't discount the pleasures of spending time in these tiny settlements. The most charming towns are Riomaggiore and Vernazza, with their winding alleyways leading to ports surrounded by small rocks. The Cinque Terre is still one of Italy's top tourist destinations, despite its recent surge in popularity. Number 8. Capri and Sorrento. Capri rises from the Tyrrhenian Sea 20 kilometers from Sorrento. It was the retreat of Augustus and Tiberius and attracts tourists from Sorrento and Naples today. Although very small, it has two towns, Capri and Anacapri. Smart stores and cafes full of people watchers are in the lower town. Anacapri's Villa San Michele and grounds are beautiful. Capri's Blue Grotto is a big flooded cave where reflected sunlight illuminates the water from within. Marina Piccola, a little beach at the foot of the Faraglioni sea stacks, lies on the other side of the island. Sorrento was built for enjoyment, like Capri. The views include Naples, its harbor, Monte Vesuvius, and Capri. It's a good base for day visits to Capri, the Amalfi Coast, Pompeii, and Herculaneum. Number 7. Amalfi Coast. Naples Bay's southern rim is formed by the steep, precipitous Amalfi Peninsula, which projects sharply into the Mediterranean just south of Naples. There is probably no more picturesque or improbable location for the towns that flow down its rocky slopes. Most of these charming communities have stairways for streets, and the homes there appear to be attached to the cliffs behind them. Everywhere there are blooming flowers, and below the villages are inviting beaches tucked away in emerald-colored coves. The town of Ravello is located high above the coast, where lavish gardens frame some of the best views of the coast. One of the most beautiful drives in the world is the Amalfi Drive, which runs along the southern coast. You can also view the coast from the water by taking the 45-minute ferry from Sorrento to Positano. Number 6. Lake Como. Since the time of the ancient Romans, who escaped the summer heat of Milan to cool off in villas along its rocky shores, Como, Italy's most picturesque lake, has been a popular summer getaway for the affluent and famous. Later villas adorn its compact cities, especially the lovely Bellagio, which is skillfully positioned at the intersection of the lake's three thin arms. The white peaks of the Alps to the north can be seen between palm trees and camellias on Como's western shore thanks to a microclimate that keeps it temperate even in the dead of winter. Before boarding a ship to tour the lake, don't forget to stop in the southern shore town of Como.
East of Lake Como is Lake Garda, a summer playground with water sports and other activities, while just to the west of Lake Como is Lake Maggiore, which has its own charms. Number 5. Milan. Milan is often ignored as a destination because of its airport.
Milan has one of Italy's highest concentrations of artistic and architectural attractions, and those interested in design, fashion, and shopping should visit. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Verdi, Enrico Caruso, Toscanini, and Giorgio Armani lived and worked in Milan.
Milan's Duomo is one of the world's most stunning churches and the best example of flamboyant Gothic.
La Scala is the world's most prominent opera venue. Da Vinci's The Last Supper is in a monastery, and museums and palaces are replete with world-class art. No fashionista can resist Quadrilatero.
Number 4. Tuscan hill towns. Etruscan stone towns crown Tuscany's undulating landscape.
Each sit atop a hill, and many still have castles and towers. Each has its unique architecture, art, personality, and story. San Gimignano, with its towers and complete walls, looks much as it did in the Middle Ages, when it was a pilgrimage stop. Volterra was an important Etruscan center before the Romans came and still preserves their ruins. Artists, architects, and poets left their mark on Arezzo's tourist sites. Cortona, a fortified Etruscan and Roman city, also has Florentine remnants. Cortona is one of Italy's oldest towns. Tuscany is home to many of Italy's best-known cities, including Florence, Siena, Pisa, and Lucca.
Number 3. Venice. Who wouldn't enjoy a city with water streets, boat buses, and gondolier songs? The city itself is its biggest tourist draw.
St. Mark's Square, the city's hub, is surrounded by prominent attractions.
The lofty campanile overlooks the St. Mark's Basilica and Doge's Palace. Gondola rides are romantic in Italy. Gondolas crowd the Grand Canal Plaza. In the opposite direction, a gate under the clock tower leads to a maze of narrow, winding corridors.
Getting lost in Venice, where a postcard scene is around every turn, is a joy.
Number 2. Florence.
Florence, the epicenter of the Italian Renaissance, occasionally resembles a massive art gallery. With its huge dome defying gravity, the Duomo, also known as the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, is an icon of world architecture. This is one of the finest collections of Renaissance art in the entire world, along with its marble-inlaid bell tower by Giotto and the octagonal baptistry with its unmatched bronze doors by Ghiberti. More masterpieces adorn its churches and palaces, and half a dozen art museums are filled to the brim with paintings and sculpture. Visit the Boboli Gardens, the Oltrarno's artist studios and workshops, or Santa Croce's leather shops before you consume too much art in the Uffizi Gallery and Pitti Palace. Number 1. Rome. Rome is the top destination on the list for the majority of tourists visiting Italy, both for its historical significance as the capital of most of ancient Europe and for its current status as one of the continent's most vibrant cities. The Colosseum, the Forum, the Pantheon, the Appian Way, and the Palatine Hill are remnants of its former splendor, competing for attention with the Vatican's enormous wealth. Take some time to take in the city itself in between visiting important sites like the Sistine Chapel and Michelangelo's Pieta. Enjoy the Borghese Gardens, enjoy gelato on the Spanish Steps, stroll through Trastevere's winding lanes, sip morning cappuccinos in cafes, window shop on the Via Veneto, and toss a coin into the Trevi Fountain to ensure future visits. To see everything, multiple trips are necessary. What do you think about our video? Please let us know in the comments area below. If you enjoyed this video and would want to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.